Hi everyone, and welcome to another Try Forex Power Hour. It's Marcello here with Nino alongside me. It is May 13th, 2014. We're going to do today what I've done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our biases, which are based upon the 5 p.m. Eastern Time close of our daily bars. Hey Nino, how are you?
I'm great, Marcello. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm glad to have you on the line with me. How was the trading session from last night?
Trading session was great. And the reason why I can say that because basically your biases made everything so straightforward. So we know exactly what direction we want. We know that the market was going to be trending in. And all we had to do was wait for setup to get an entry. And that was just about it.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely hit on, as far as the biases were concerned. Yeah, I think we did a very good job as far as the biases are concerned. So let's go ahead and take a look at sorry guys, I was out by my pool, decided to come inside. Okay, so let's take a look at how this works. So basically our formula for success is that we determine our biases at 5 p.m. market by doing our 5 p.m. market analysis. Okay, what's our bias? Our bias is the probability, is our outlook on the market. When we find that there's a high probability the price of a particular currency pair will either rise or fall. So if we believe that, or there's a high probability that a certain currency pair will rise, we will call a buy bias. We also have sell biases, okay? And then we also have what we call consolidation biases, okay? So that's what we have, and that's how we determine what our trades are going to be. Now, how do we execute these trades? Either one, we take a set and forget it trade, or two, we day trade in the direction of our bias using our pods for bigger profits. If you don't know what a pod is, we have a day trading course on our website, tryforex.com, and if you'd like to know how to leverage these trades for more money, then be in the live trade room with Nino 1 to 3 a.m. and then 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. And that's really what we're looking to do, guys. So 1 to 3 a.m. and then 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the markets really quickly. Okay, so basically for the last, I don't know, for the last month or so, I've been calling a bias in the markets. I've been calling a bias in the market for a sell. We knew that a sell was on its way because if you look at the monthly chart or the weekly chart, we saw this trend line which formed dating all the way back to March of 2008 to present, okay? And so this is a big resistance trend line that we have here, and we were looking to that. So we've had one, two major hits, three hits here on the euro-dollar monthly. We broke the high, and then you can see market just slam down, really recognizing and acknowledging that resistance area. All right, so we're looking for price to continue down, and we think that price can most likely get to right about the 13400 area, and can even go further down if we were to have a break of some kind in the euro-dollar evaluation. We could really see price get all the way down to right around 127.50 to 12800. Okay, and that is on that's our long-term analysis of the markets for the euro-dollar. Now, what's happening presently? Okay, so let's talk about what's happening presently. You'll notice that I have a very, very sharp trend line here. It's bolded. It's bold because it's relevant for today. We've got basically what's happened is you'll notice that price has stopped on at a certain point here. We've stopped really at 136.88. Right above that or right below that is a trend line. And I'd like to clean this trend line up just a little bit, just a tad. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. All right, so you'll notice that price just bounced right off of this area. Okay, price just bounced right off of this trend line here at 136. This trend line was actually at 136.82. We got down to 136.88. Now, I do think that there can be a holding pattern in the market. I'm leaving myself open to not make a decision here, but I do think that we can have a retracement in the market over the next few days. So right where we are, we can look for the market to bounce off of this 136.85 area and maybe find its way back up to the mid band of the 38.2 and the 38.2 fib area. So let's just draw this fib properly. You can see I have Fibonacci's here drawn. There's a reason why I had a Fibonacci drawn, and that's because I'm looking for a retracement, just a really quick retracement here on the euro dollar, although I do believe the overall movement in the market is to the downside still. So we had nice big sell-off, 300 pip sell-off from 140.00 all the way down to 137.00. This is a true move. We're more likely than not going to see a pushback up about 116 pips. That takes us to the 50 MA, okay, and also the 38.2 fib area. We can also see price stop at the Bollinger Midband at about 73 pips and 23 at the 23.6 area. Now, if we see price break this low, we're going to see price come all the way down to 136.14, which is the next area of support, which is going to take us to the 200 EMA. All right, so we could see all of that happen, and it's really going to depend on what the market wants to do at this point of decision here. So watch out. I'm more likely going to call a buy than a sell here at this point, just for, I do think there's a sell bias, that it's appropriate for the long term. I do think that there's also an opportunity for a retracement here on this pair. Looking at the multiple touches we've had at this trend line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches at this trend line. So, we could see a very strong trend which would just simply break through this, or we can see price hold for one bar and then sell off here on the euro dollar. So that's what I'm going to be waiting to see. As such, if you're in your positions, start moving them up. As far as keeping your profit and protecting yourself from risk, as far as this is concerned, I'm moving my positions up. And also, guys, just be prepared. So I'm not going to call a buy or a sell on this euro dollar today, just because it just doesn't, I think that we could get a retracement, but I also think there's an opportunity in a strong downtrend for us to break through this trend line and really just continue to move downward. All right, so here's the monthly on the dollar Swiss. We clearly don't have this bar yet. We're waiting for this second bar to close so we can actually have a swing high here, a swing low, sorry, here, and that's going to really get us going in the right direction, wherever this wants to go, this dollar Swiss wants to go. For our purposes, we're still looking for a buy on the monthly and on the weekly, and looking at the daily here, I'm looking for something that can give us some, hold us back here perhaps. Yeah, pretty much we've broken through on the dollar Swiss. We don't have an awful lot of resistance here, but we are at 8,900. That by itself is resistance. It's a previous high as well. Yeah, and a previous low here, obviously. Yeah, I think we can have a continuation here on the buy side for the dollar Swiss. So we're going to look and see where price goes from here. We don't have a trend line. We do have horizontal resistance here at the double zeros. Okay, so we'll keep our eye on that. This pound dollar is pretty clear cut. Now, the pound dollar, we were concerned because pound dollar seemed to completely ignore the 68.50 area, but it wasn't ignoring it at all. We're back within the 68.50 area. If you look at the monthly here, we were looking for a sell right off the 68.50. I've been talking about it for the last month or so, And now it looks like it's materializing. If we were to get this bar to close in here, this reversal candle, you can see a very nice sell-off on this pound dollar all the way down to 1.5100 or 1.5150, and I've been talking about that. Looks like it's beginning to materialize, so keep that in mind. If this would be a long-term play, you'd get into it and you'd hold it for the next, 1,700 pips, which is a very, very nice profit potentially for anybody who holds onto that trade. So that's something to be considered. We could have a breakout here in this market. Anything's still possible, but it looks like the market really wants to come down. We're going to get a test here at 166.50 is what I'm seeing from this monthly. So if it continues to move down, we're going to get a test at 166.50, where we're going to cross this trend line, which is not really a trend line at all, actually, but also, really more importantly, it's a 200 EMA, and then we're going to probably pass through that and really start moving through the 50 EMA and the 200. First the 200, then the 50 EMA. So looking at the weekly and the daily. Look at the weekly. The weekly is beautiful. It just tested above 168.50. It's coming right back inside of it. This is wonderful. This looks like a really good sell on the weekly as well. And on the daily, it also looks like a sell. So we can see a retest at 168.49, 168.50, so about 25 pips away. And then we can see price really begin to push down here on the pound dollar. So I've got a sell trade on the pound dollar. Dollar yen, I called a buy yesterday. By the way, I called the euro dollar sell. We had a beautiful sell day. Called a buy on the dollar Swiss. We had a beautiful buy day. Pound dollar, I didn't call anything on it because I wasn't sure where it would go from that area of support and resistance. But now we've got a sell here, clear sell on the pound dollar sell. Dollar yen, I called a buy up to the 50 EMA, and that's exactly where it went. So you could have made profit there as well. The pound yen, I called a sell off of the trend line. That's exactly what happened. We have a trend line. Price moved up to it and sold right off of it. So we've got a sell bias on the pound yen here. Dollar CAD, we have a buy bias. I called a buy, and you can see that price moved up. I got another buy bias on the dollar CAD here. Euro yen, I had a consolidation, I believe, or I'm trying to remember. Yep, consolidation. This inside bar really was looking for a sell right off of this this mid Bollinger, this 50 EMA. So if you can go back over the recordings yesterday, you can hear how I called this. But that was definitely our sell. We were looking for a bounce off the high and a sell bias on the euro yen. New Zealand dollar, we called the sell. This is one of those that did not go the exact way I thought it would. This was actually a consolidation, and we're still having a consolidation play here on the New Zealand. It moved up to the highs of the inside bar, the master bar, if you will, and then sold right off. Came right back inside of where we were, and now it's moving back up again. So this one's in consolidation. Aussie dollars also in consolidation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 bars inside of each other. That's what it's looking for. So consolidation on the Aussie dollar, consolidation on the New Zealand dollar. Looks like we've got consolidation here on this euro yen, but I'm looking more for a sell than anything else. Dollar CAD's a buy bias. Pound yen is a sell bias. Dollar yen is a buy bias. I'd say it's stuck at 50 MA and the Bollinger here, so it makes it a very tough buy per se. So maybe actually on this one, I'm not going to call it because we're really at areas of support and resistance, and it's really holding those areas of support and resistance. Not to mention we have a trend line here. So I'm going to wait and see how this dollar yen proceeds from here. Pound dollar is definitely a sell off 168.49. Dollar Swiss is a buy for the time being. And the euro dollar I cannot call. I really do think that we can bounce off, or we can either pass through this and start moving downward, or we can, we can see price move up. But for my purposes, I cannot call that because it's ambiguous, because we have this big trend line here. It's a big wall that the euro dollar has to get through first before it continues to move down. So I'm not going to call that trade on the euro dollar today. All right, so those are my calls for the day, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Tribe Forex Power Hour. All the best. Bye-bye.